Emiliano Sordi out of Argentina, the 2019 light heavyweight champion, and Dan Spohn, a former playoff contender at 205 pounds himself. Randy, there is Emiliano Sordi. I can't state it enough. Dangerous everywhere, and when he's healthy, as he promises us that he is now, he can go all 3 rounds.
Absolutely, amazing conditioning normally. Was an anomaly to see him struggle in his first fight out, but man, can he finish. He's got great punching power, very, very good submission skills. We've seen him do a little bit of everything.
And he can clinch the #1 seed with a 2nd round finish or better.
Well, he's already clinched my heart. He's my favorite 205-pound champion here in the PFL, Sean.
I need you to stop saying that, because it's just him and it's me.
Too much?
So it's very blatant. And there's Dan the Dragon Spohn. This man is a crafty southpaw striker. He's tough everywhere. He got choked unconscious in his last fight, and he was incredibly disappointed with the way that thing played out. He's looking for redemption and a playoff spot tonight, which of course is still on the line, also with a 2nd round finish or better. Tell the Tape presented by the United States Marine Corps. Dan Spohn is 6 years older, 2 inches taller, 1 pound heavier. Slight leg reach advantage to Emiliano Sordi. And Lillian Garcia gets him going inside the smart cage.
The PFL is more than a fight, it's a season. And we continue now in the light heavyweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a striker, standing at 6'4". He officially weighs in at 205 1/2 pounds. In 26 professional bouts, he has a record of 18 wins and 8 losses, with 12 victories by way of stoppage. Fighting out of Columbus, Ohio, here is Dan the Dragon Spohn. His opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he is also a striker. Standing at 6'2", he officially weighs in at 205 pounds. In 31 professional bouts, he has a record of 23 wins and 8 losses, with 22 victories by way of stoppage. Fighting out of Rio Cuarto, Argentina, here is your 2019 PFL Light Heavyweight World Champion, Emiliano Sordi. Your referee in charge, Vitor Shaolin.
Sordi, the first major division mixed martial arts champion out of his home country of Argentina. In the black and gold trunks, Dan the Dragon Spohn.
Ready.
In the black and gray. Touch of the gloves, Spohn the southpaw, gets right to it with a big left hand. High kick attempt there from Emiliano Sordi. Inside leg kick in that open stance from Dan Spohn. Little clash of the heads on the way in there. Spohn with the double unders. Sordi a little bothered by that clash of the heads, and Dan Spohn picks him up and sets him down. Takes the back of Emiliano Sordi here. Snakes the choke in. He's got it underneath the neck of Emiliano Sordi.
Looks like Sordi is still distracted and wasn't protecting that arm around the neck. He still really isn't at this
very
point.
tight. Dan Spohn. Wow. Working on a rear naked choke here. Sordi trying to tuck his chin. Now he reaches up to peel that top hand off.
He's got to protect that choking arm first. That was kind of a risky defensive maneuver there by Sordi.
Spohn's only got 1 hook in. He might be a little high here. He's going to get reversed.
On cue, Sordi ends up on top with an underhook. Goes to work with the hammer fist.
It looked like that head collision really distracted Sordi.
Yeah.
He was waiting for the referee to make a call or do something, and it never came.
Sordi trying to make sure these punches land on the ear of Dan Spohn and not just the back of the head. Continues to go to work from the top here. Spohn now underneath. Wow. Sordi circles around.
These are some heavy shots here.
And we've learned about Emiliano Sordi. It doesn't take much for him to generate serious power.
He's got that arm trapped in the crucifix.
Spohn rolls out of it. Sordi goes to work from the top. Big right hand from the top. Back into the half guard. Hammer fist again from Emiliano Sordi. Spohn's got the underhook, trying to curl in, telling the referee he's hitting me in the back of the head.
Uh-oh, Darce choke.
There's that Bravo, yeah.
Got to call it a Bravo around Kenny Florian.
Both are acceptable.
Can't call it a Darce, sorry.
Both are very acceptable. And he continually going for it, but Spohn trying to get back to his feet here.
Spohn's bottom leg is actually stopping him from getting up despite the good position with the underhook.
And Spawn's got a chin, man. He's eating a lot of shots here.
And now he's giving him back in the hammer fist. There's that underhook again as Dan Spohn tries to work his way up. Emiliano Sordi pouring it on from the top. Excellent work. Position first from Emiliano Sordi before he throws anything, and there it is.
There's a slick one. Wow, that was nice. Stepped out forwards and back right into position.
Yeah, nice little teleportation to the back there. It looked like Spawn's arm went limp there.
Spawn's got a cut in his scalp, and that must be from that head collision.
Hooks are in for Emiliano Sordi. He's got 90 seconds left in this round to ride, and Dan Spohn is wearing some punishment on the bottom. Emiliano Sordi looking straight at the ref cam saying he's not defending himself, but Spohn continues to try and improve his position. This is not a fun place to be underneath someone like Emiliano Sordi.
Spohn is a very difficult guy to put away, and again, when you're dealing with this kind of toughness, you just gotta deal with trying to submit him, get him in a choke, take the toughness factor out of it, and put him to sleep.
Look at how many strikes are mounting for Emiliano Sordi. Back of the head. Vitor Shaolin steps in.
Over there. Over there.
Sends the fighters to a neutral corner. Timeout.
Yes. Okay. I want it different times, all right? I'm gonna take 1 point for that, okay? Nick,
He's going to take a point.
I'll take 1 point.
Takes a point away from Emiliano Sordi.
Tirar point do seu cara.
For the punches to the back of the head.
Okay, let's go. Are you ready? Are you
And
ready?
perhaps more
Let's fight.
importantly, Dan Spohn gets a stand-up out of it.
Yeah, he gets a guy off of his back with both hooks in.
I don't think there's any debate, though. A lot of those punches were landing on the back of the head as now Emiliano Sordi tries to dive in off a heavy right hand. 30 seconds remain here in round number one. Dan Spohn still wants that big finish. Another clash of the heads and a check hook from Dan Spohn.
Again, anytime you get opposite stance fighters, you will see a lot of these head collisions.
Little fancy kick combination attempted there from Emiliano Sordi. He has already thrown almost 200 strikes in this fight. And we'll see round two when we return. Welcome back, Sean O'Connell, Randy Couture, Kenny Florian. No more warnings, Vitor Shaolin says. Already took 1 point away for the illegal strikes to the back of the head from Emiliano Sordi, which perhaps makes that a 9-9 round. Could still be a 10-9 round or a 9-8 round. Nice combo there to open things from Dan Spohn, countering the body kick.
And Sordi was very close to potentially getting a TKO in that round, so what a turn of events.
Another clash to the heads. Dan Spohn missed with the scooping uppercut there. Inside leg kick compromises the balance of Emiliano Sordi. Dan Spohn needs a finish in this round to get himself a playoff spot. Emiliano Sordi, a win gets him in.
Just when you think you got the format figured out and the guys figured it out, it flip-flops. Man, I love it. It's amazing.
It's the true sports format, right? You don't know every year which NFL team's going to make it into the playoffs. You don't know about the NBA. You don't know about the PFL.
Spohn finding some good success with that left hand.
Winging left hand misses for Dan the Dragon Spohn. Both of these men put in a lot of work in that first round. Sordi offensively, Spohn mostly defensively. Head kick there from Sordi, partially landed. Spohn, good head movement there to avoid a couple of hooks. Now he's on a single.
Spohn looked a little wobbly there. That first punch backed him up and wobbled him a little bit, and then he bent over right into the head kick.
I don't think he still has his legs underneath him, Randy. He still seems hurt.
Right hook there from Emiliano Sordi, and now a kick again. Dan Spohn's in some trouble here. Back against the cage, Sordi ducking away from that flurry. You have to put Dan Spohn away, and it's not an easy thing to do. The corrections officer from Ohio, family man, has to take time off work to come and do this, the second job.
We have a weird sense of what we think is fun.
Slugging away at 205 pounds. Sordi lands, so does Spohn. Left hand, now some uppercuts from Dan Spohn.
Little dirty boxing, I love it.
Little Tim Boach there from Dan Spohn. Oh, and the fatigue showing.
Spohn collapsed there.
Sordi just muscles him down.
It looked like Spawn's legs just gave out there.
And if you're Spohn,
Sordi gonna climb the full mount here. He's gonna settle right in.
if you're Dan Spohn's corner, Kenny, you're telling him to get up and do it now.
And he reverses it.
Goodness.
What the heck?
Sordi got a little lazy with his position there, and Spohn able to get that single leg sweep there.
Sordi now
He's gonna crawl
Crawling
over to the
over.
fence. And
He has the most lackadaisical back defense I've ever seen.
you saw
And
early.
somehow he gets out.
Yeah. If you don't acknowledge that the choke is a threat, Kenny, it's not a threat.
Exactly.
Spawn's a little high again.
Yeah, he's going to lose position here.
He's only got one hook in.
Oh, jeez.
Sordi tries to use the floor of the cage to slam Dan Spohn's head.
Feel him like an
He's going to
orange.
lose position here again if he could just take that right hook out, and he's going to get on top. Yep.
There it is. We saw it in the first round. Here it is
Trying to
again.
get the seat belt. Sordi's trying to trap that bottom arm. Spohn doing a good job with hand control. There's the seat belt.
Here we go again, and Sordi's got to be careful with the strikes to the back of the head here. He's already had a point deducted. As he controls the right arm of Dan Spohn with that figure four.
And he's going to get out of this almost like a crackdown escape here. Sordi needs to find a way to get back to his knees or to his feet.
Back and forth in the grappling exchange, back and forth in the striking exchange. Sordi reaches for a switch here as Dan Spohn sucks his hips away from the barrier.
This has been a back and forth war. Wow.
And in a back and forth war like that, that 1 point can make a huge difference in the end of this fight.
No
Well,
question.
It was also such a round for Emiliano Sordi that you wonder if it was still a 9-8 round in his favor, if it was going to be a 10-8 and he lost the point.
That's an interesting point.
I mean, he landed almost 200 strikes from the top in that first round. He rolls for
Trying to roll the leg.
Emiliano Sordi trying to
find
grab
the heel hook.
late. Welcome back. Light heavyweight action, a playoff spot on the line between Emiliano Sordi and Dan the Dragon Spohn. And fights like this make me very glad I am not an MMA judge.
It kind of makes me glad I'm not an MMA fighter anymore, too.
This has been brutal.
Spohn comes in behind a jab and then a winging left hand. Sordi just evades it. Both men showing some fatigue here at the opening of round number 3, and understandably so. It has been a back and forth affair. Spohn in the black and gray trunks representing the United States. Emiliano Sordi, the 2019 light heavyweight champion, lands a right hand.
Sordi's got to be careful leaping in with those shots. Spohn finding some good counters there.
Spohn ducks under, comes up, and lands a two-piece. Nice uppercut there from Emiliano Sordi.
What's Sordi doing there? As he comes in, he bobs up and down real hard before he throws the combinations. I think he's telegraphing a little bit.
I'm surprised that Sordi has kind of ditched the high kicks as well. He found some success with those in round 2.
Open stance and a cup check, unfortunately, for Emiliano Sordi. Dan Spohn knew it, immediately said sorry. And this becomes a big factor in a fight like this one, gentlemen. Ooh. In a fight like this one, where you're both fatigued, a break right here in the 3rd round can really change the momentum.
Ready? Right.
FPR has 2 rounds to Emiliano Sordi. I'm not sure how I would judge it. You can see the smart cage tracking the strikes. Man, 268, 269. FPR does not account for point deductions, by the way. It's simply the impact of action inside the cage. So the rules of the sport, the referees doing their thing, does not affect FPR scoring.
Well, a whole bunch of those strikes came on the ground when he had him trapped down there for a while.
Another headbutt, inadvertent. Spohn has 3 minutes left to get a finish and a spot in the playoffs. Sordi, the returning champ, he still needs a win. Far from a foregone conclusion in a bout like this one. Spohn has been the aggressor here in round number 3. There's our Acronis fight tracker, measuring the movement of Emiliano Sordi, who's been on the outside. Spohn catches that leg kick. 2.5 minutes left.
Spohn has been definitely the busier man in this round.
Neither fighter really landing anything super impactful yet. Good defense there by Sordi, but good defense is its own reward. You're not going to get anything from the judges based on that. There's a left hand. A trade in the center. Spohn recovers nicely. Inside of 2 minutes here. 205-pound playoff implications. Big kick. Spohn catches it, tries to drag Sordi down. They're both back to their feet. A considerable slowing of the pace after a grueling first couple of rounds here. Spohn catches a kick.
It was slick. He caught that kick and then tried to sweep that back leg out and put Sordi down on the ground. Sordi popped right back up.
Inside of 90 seconds as they trade one more time. Vitor Shaolin says keep the fingers out of each other's eyes. There's been some headbutts. There's been a cup check. The trifecta is the accidental eye poke.
All right, guys, as I'm looking at this and as I'm watching, trying to call the action and call the fight in my mind, if there's the total strike, that's the thing that really stands out to me so far. Big difference there between Sordi and Spohn.
But remember, the first round was almost 200 strikes for Emiliano Sordi. So since then, it's evened out considerably. And Dan Spohn is doing some work here in round number 3. Could come down to how the judges saw round number 2 as Spohn lands another left hand. Now a combination from Sordi as he wades in.
How about that head movement from Spohn, man? He made him swing, but he made him miss every single time.
Another check hook there from Dan Spohn, putting in some strong work here. Sordi grabs a leg, coming up on a 10-second clapper. Sordi tries to get a takedown to potentially steal the round here. Dan Spohn's having none of it. Back and forth affair at 205 pounds. How will the scorecards treat this one? If Spohn wins by decision, Corey Hendricks is in. And probably a bigger story is the returning 205-pound champion Emiliano Sordi would be out. If Emiliano Sordi wins by decision, he is in. There's also the potential, especially because of the point deduction, of a draw. If you have a 9-9 first round, second round to Sordi, third round to Dan Spohn, that's a draw.
And you take a point, yep.
A point apiece. In which case, Sordi, I believe, wins the tiebreaker over Corey Hendricks because he had 2 regular season bouts to Hendricks' 1. Woo, boy. There's the Cageonomics stats bundle presented by Geico. Look at the totals, but they don't tell the full story. That's what the FPR is for. We find out next. We take a look at our CarParts.com damage meter. Dan Spohn took 234 strikes to the head. The majority of those in the first round, and crucially, some of those landed on the back of his head, which led the referee to deduct a point from Emiliano Sordi on the scorecards. That could be a huge factor as we take a look at a rich energy replay. Emiliano Sordi started strong, Kenny.
Yeah, and you can see that headbutt briefly right there and was really bothered by it, almost got his back taken, but he finished that round so strong. Again, as you mentioned, landed 200 strikes. And in the second round, he did land a strike to the back of the head, or a couple strikes to the back of the head, and that was enough for Victor Shaolin to take a point away. And there's Spohn coming back. I mean, so many back and forth moments in this fight. My goodness.
All right, fighter performance rating sponsored by Rich Energy. Razor thin round 1, because remember, Dan Spohn had Emiliano Sordi's back and neck in that round. But the fighter performance rating gives both the first and second to Emiliano Sordi. Here's how the fans saw it. They said the first and the third to Emiliano Sordi. FPR says Sordi, fan vote says Dan Spohn, Emiliano Sordi, and on both Randy and Kenny's card. What about the judges? Ooh, Lillian Garcia, let us know.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. And all 3 judges have scored the bout 28-28 for a draw. Both fighters will earn 1 point in the light heavyweight division. Therefore, clinching a spot in the 2021 PFL playoffs, Emiliano Sordi!
Emiliano Sordi, with a 1-point draw, now has 4 total points, as does Corey Hendricks. But Emiliano Sordi participated in 2 regular season bouts to Corey Hendricks 1, which means the tiebreaker goes to Emiliano Sordi.
Wow.